Hello, welcome back to another episode of No Space, No Time World. My name is Cyrielle. I'm here on the Conscious Consumer Network every Wednesday evening to take you through a meditation and give out a healing transmission. We will sometimes have a guest, and when we do, it will be a guest who will be sharing his or her personal experience of anomalies or glitches in the matrix, showing us that things and occurrences that are outside the 3D world we are programmed to believe is real. So please do email in at my email address on the screen, and please do share your own personal experiences, which I can just read out on the show if you wish. And please send in any requests for specific healings that we can address as a group transmission, and any experiences you've had from the weekly meditation or healing transmissions. So how has your week been? In this past week here, I've had some more new work channeled through unexpectedly that I actually used in a distance session for a client yesterday. Although in that session it was for a different issue than what kind the work channeled through for. So this new work should help people's bodies recover and reset from the effects of electromagnetic frequencies, 5G, cell phone towers, all that kind of thing. And basically anything that upsets the body's polarity and electrical balance. So I'm rolling out that one as needed. I've actually got so many new things, new procedures and that have come through, and I've got about 5 manuals that I need to write. Divine healing and energetic kinesiology, a couple of light body things as well. I really could do with having a few weeks or even months where I do nothing much else than write them all up and then get the manuals ready for teaching, and at the same time just have a minimum amount of clients. But unfortunately, that's not financially viable unless I can win the lottery. But there, universe, you just heard me. So do your thing. So what else? Yeah, I wanted to thank the guests we've had on the show so far, because a few days ago, my son's girlfriend, after watching one of the back shows, realized that she and one of her school friends actually did have a matrix glitch experience some years back. And she only remembered and realized what it was all about after watching the show and listening to Amanda Kanini Dyer, who was on my show. And so she shared her experience with me, and she actually understood it. Whereas when it happened, she thought she was, what, that couldn't have happened. I'm a bit crazy, but her friend had the same thing. So she also shared an experience that my son and her had together experienced recently. So I do thank my previous guests, though there haven't been many of them. I thank you because your sharing has done exactly what I had hoped it would do, and that is to give understanding and insight to people watching the show of these experiences and open their eyes, so to speak. So I'm really pleased about that. So that is some of the news from last week. If I told you all of the news, we would be here for hours, believe me. My life is extremely busy in many ways. Okay, so let's get to our Awaken the Spark within meditation part of the show. Time to chill. Ready? Okay. So everyone relax and get into a really comfortable position. And if possible, take off your shoes. Sit, lay down, whichever you can do. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. Close your eyes and clear your mind and be at peace. Now focus on the point which is approximately 2 to 3 fingers width below your navel. Staying at the level of this point, shift your focus to right inside your body. Go right inside. Any participating extraterrestrials, please focus on your own center within and go right inside there. Okay, you're now all in your core, the core of your body and of your entire energy field. Now breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure light of spirit and exhale this pure light right into your core. Fill this core space. Fill this space with the pure, loving light of spirit with every out breath. Feel it spread out, revitalizing and rejuvenating your core. Keep breathing, saturating your core with spirit. As this pure loving light spreads, it reveals a door. This is the lower door of your core. Door number 1. Please walk towards this door. Now with thanks and gratitude and a smile from your heart center, open this door and step through. You are now in the lower chamber of your core. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure light of spirit and exhale this pure light directly into the lower chamber of your core, filling it completely with pure loving light. Keep breathing. And with every exhalation, feel this pure light spread, revitalizing and rejuvenating your lower chamber, clearing away all stuck energies, all etheric cobwebs, clearing away all heavy and dense energies, and revitalizing your physical form. Keep breathing. With every exhalation, more is clear. More and more is clear. Notice that you begin to feel brighter and more alive as your lower chamber and your physical form become revitalized. Keep breathing. Now this pure loving light has saturated your lower chamber. Another door is revealed. This is the middle door, door number 2. Please walk towards this door. And with thanks and gratitude and a smile from your heart center, open this door and step through. You're now in the middle chamber of your core. This is the chamber of the heart. Breathe deeply, slowly and deep. And keep breathing. With every out-breath, gradually fill this chamber with love. Breathe in the pure, loving light of spirit and exhale this pure, loving light directly into the middle chamber, filling it completely with pure love. Keep breathing. With every exhalation, feel the light and the love spread. Feel it revitalize your middle chamber. Feel it clear away all stuck energies, all etheric cobwebs. Feel it clear away all dense energies, all heavy energies. Feel it clear away all energies that are not loving energies. Let them all dissolve so they cannot return. Keep breathing. And with every exhalation, more of this dense energy is cleared. More unloving energy is cleared. Keep breathing until the only energy that can exist in this chamber is the energy of love. saturate your heart chamber with love unconditional. Let love take over. And as love takes over, yet another door is revealed. And this is the upper door, door number 3. Please walk towards this door. And with great thanks and gratitude and a big smile from your loving heart center, open this door and step through. You are now in the upper chamber of your core. This is your core connection to spirit and the spiritual realm. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure, sparkling light of spirit and exhale this pure light into the upper chamber of your core, gradually filling it completely with pure, loving, bright, sparkling light. Keep breathing. And with every exhalation, feel this wonderful light spread. Feel it revitalizing your upper chamber, clearing away all stuck energies, all etheric cobwebby energies. Feel it clearing away all dense and heavy energies. And feel it clear all blocks to higher dimensions. Feel it open and strengthen your connection to spirit. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Feel this pure light of spirit spread and spread until your upper chamber is completely and absolutely full, and until there's nothing else in your upper chamber but the pure, sparkling, bright, loving light of spirit. Feel it. Breathe it in. Breathe it in within and without. Let it spread throughout your physical form, into every cell, right into your DNA, your RNA, all your nucleobases. Feel it spread into every other part of you, physical, etheric, all systems, all chakras, all nadis, all meridians, all geometric and biogeometric structures throughout your systems and fields. Let it spread throughout your field, right out, right in, saturate saturating every part of you. Feel it spread and feel it transmute all denseness and clear away all stuckness, and feel it removing all blocks to all that you are and to all that is. Feel it, be it, and now all of you and all your systems and fields, plus all three chambers of your core, are filled and saturated with the pure, loving, gentle and powerful light of spirit. Pause in this love. Feel the peace. Bathe in it. And now take an even deeper breath. And exhale strongly this time, expanding this pure, loving light of spirit, exploding further and further and further, dimension to dimension, across all realities and parallels, further and further, until you experience a sudden stillness. You are at source. You have reached source. Feel this stillness. Feel this peace. Feel this love. Feel this purity. And to bathe in this exquisite energy. And give thanks for all that you are and for all that is. And remain in this state. Remember how it feels. Remember the stillness. Remember the peace. Remember the purity. Remember the love. Remember so that you can return to this blissful state at will, at any time you wish to, and give thanks for this. Now when you're ready, please slowly and gently open your eyes. Gently return to this reality, but whilst keeping your strong connection to Source. Thank you. Ooh. So as you slowly and gently come back to the space we're in, I will share about this week's Blueprint Healing Transmission. This week we are addressing another Blueprint unit, the Sovereign Fire Blueprint unit. So this unit is another part of the fire elements. Having already worked on the governing and ministerial fire units, Sovereign Fire completes the fire elements. Sovereign Fire consists of two more meridians. The heart meridian, which is a yin energy meridian, and the small intestine meridian, which is a yang energy meridian. So what we're doing, I'm going to show you a diagram. This is the Chinese 5 elements, and this is what we use in kinesiology. We had been working basically from up here and coming down. And we are now, these are the fire elements. And we're going to be working our way around next week. We're going to be starting to work our way around this way. Because this is the flow, the natural flow of the 5 elements. Oh, the outside is the Sheng cycle. The inside is the Ko cycle. The outside is the Yang cycle and the inside is the Yin. And we will be following that cycle with the rest of the blueprints, the blueprint units that we'll be doing. Next week we will be doing the Earth, which is spleen and stomach. Okay, so back to this evening. So we're going to be releasing negative pattern connected to the qualities of the heart and small intestine meridians. So as I've said before in previous weeks, the emotions, states and beliefs that we are releasing associated with the heart and small intestine meridians this week, the Sovereign Fire Blueprint Unit, and the positive qualities associated, I have adapted them from the Melbourne Applied Physiology Kinesiology Working with Emotions workshop. And these actually came from Touch for Health Emotions, a list by a woman called Margaret Murray, which was a presentation in the USA at a Touch for Health conference in 1989. In case you're wondering, no, I have not done Touch for Health specifically, as a course on its own at least, but there were many Touch for Health techniques that we were taught in the very first weeks of our energetic kinesiology course, because they're the basis for much of the later work and vital to learn. And like the meridian emotions are used in conjunction with a lot of the things that we do in energetic kinesiology. And of course the muscle monitoring techniques, along with the muscles for the different meridians from Touch for Health. These techniques we had to learn as well. And that's how I came about these emotions, not from Touch for Health, of course, but from energetic kinesiology. So for our healing transmission, I have adapted the qualities and states and emotions related to these meridians to release as negative patterning and infuse as positive qualities for our blueprint healing transmission. So for those of you who have previously participated in our healing transmission, I remind you, and for new viewers, I will explain to you now that during this healing transmission there will be quite a few silent moments. silence when I will pause. The reason for this is to allow for things to shift. And in the case of infusions and activations, for these to infuse and integrate. Now you will all be making your shifts at different speeds, as every one of you is different. Some of us shift slowly, some of us shift quickly. Some of us shift quickly, but at other times, depending on what the emotion or issue is, can shift slowly and vice versa. And there is no right or wrong about how fast or how slowly you shift. And fast or slow doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make anyone better than anyone else. It just is as it is, because we are all different. We all have different issues. We've all grown up in different ways. We've all had different experiences in life. So each one of you is going to have a different experience to another person. And also, something I've not said before, there may be some statements or emotions that you may resonate with. There may be some that you don't resonate with. There may be some that you don't resonate consciously with, and that's fine as well. Not everyone's the same. Just chill. Just be. No stress. So please don't feel that you have to rush yourself to catch up at any point. If you feel you're lagging behind, just relax into it all. You may zone out completely and may not hear half of the things. And that's fine as well. Zoning out is fine. And you can go really, really deeply into it when you zoned out and you haven't consciously heard what I'm saying. That is fine as well. And it often happens. If you're a person who shifts quickly, just feel that shift more deeply and just relax while you wait for the next statement. And if you feel you didn't even have a shift before the next statement, don't worry about that either. These shifts can happen at any time, immediately, after a few minutes, after hours, a few days later. Just don't worry. Just be. Just trust. And at my end, I will always go on to the next statement when it feels right, or when my team indicate me to move on to the next statement. So all is good. Your job is just to receive. So just trust in spirit and all will come to you at the right time. You know, many of us are really good at giving, but absolutely rubbish at receiving. So this is your time, and it's time to receive. So let's get going. So be at peace and enjoy receiving. Okay. So everyone, please close your eyes again and relax. Get back into your comfortable position. Take a nice deep breath and exhale slowly. Healing transmission team, please open and prepare a multi-dimensional space for a blueprint healing transmission. All teams, please clear and remove all dense energies from my space and from the space of each being receiving this healing transmission. Thank you. All teams, please place the being you are working with in a protective sphere to shield this being from all outside interference. Stabilize. Thank you. We command an immediate shift to no space, no time. Now. I address all the guides, masters, and teams of each being receiving this healing transmission to please come online now. Please be on standby ready to assist and support the being you're working with. All masters and specialists for both human and extraterrestrial extraterrestrial blueprints, come into the space now. Are all teams ready? Let's begin. Teams, please access the blueprint of the being you're working with. Thank you. All teams working with all participating extraterrestrials, please adapt all commands regarding both the release of negative patterning and the infusion and activation of all positive qualities as required to the equivalent required statement relevant to the species of being you are working with. And please adapt any other commands not mentioned that need to be adapted for the species of being you are working with. Thank you. All teams working with humans, please access and connect to the Sovereign Fire Blueprint Unit now. All teams working with extraterrestrials, please access and connect to the species-related relevant equivalent blueprint unit now. Thank you. On all levels and layers, multidimensionally, ancestrally, and for all incarnations across space and time, and for the highest and best good of all, we command the release from the Sovereign Fire Blueprint Unit or species-related equivalent, and from all associated cells, physical and etheric. We also request the optimal clearing that can be made at this time for each receiving being regarding all of the following statements. We command the release of all negative patterning causing me to dislike who I am. We command the release of all negative patterning causing me to be a stranger to myself. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to have low self-esteem. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me hatred. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me anger. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me jealousy. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to feel worthless. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having a strong, healthy, lean heart. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having perfect heart rhythm. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from enjoying learning. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from enjoying growth. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from maturing with grace, love, and ease. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from enjoying moving my body. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from serving others graciously. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being free to love others as they are. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from giving others the things that they need to help them grow. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being loved. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from liking what I do. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from nurturing myself. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being gracious. We command the release of all negative patterning that is preventing me from being confident. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from loving others as I love myself. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from having joy. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from giving thanks. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being virtuous. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from allowing and welcoming abundance and wealth into my life. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from giving freely to others. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from feeling worthy to receive. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from giving full worth to whom I'm in service to. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from learning from all life's experiences. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from learning from all my experiences. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to block my own learning. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to reject and be rejected. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to be forgetful. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to be impulsive. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to be reactive. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to lack joy. toxins efficiently. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from choosing foods and beverages that nourish. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from comprehending. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from thinking before I act. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from conceiving ideas clearly and logically. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from using common sense. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from remembering facts. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from thinking clearly and accurately. We command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to express inappropriate emotions. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from feeling loved and accepted. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from loving and accepting others. We command the release of all negative patterning that is preventing me from nourishing myself with positive emotion. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being patient. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from giving equally. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from accepting freely. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from nurturing others. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from treating all as equal. We command the release of all negative patterning, preventing me from being courteous. And we command the release of all negative patterning, causing me to be disrespectful to myself and others. We give great thanks for the graceful release of all this negative patterning from the Sovereign Flyer Blueprint Unit or species-related equivalent, and from all associated cells, physical and etheric. And now on all levels and layers multidimensionally, ancestrally, for all incarnations across space and time, and for the highest and best good of all, we command the infusion and activation of all the following positive qualities directly into the Sovereign Fire Blueprint Unit or species-related equivalent, and into all related cells, physical and etheric. We command the infusion and activation of high self-esteem, the infusion and activation of self-worth and love, the infusion and activation of liking who I am and of loving who I am. The infusion and activation of knowing who I am the infusion and activation of a strong, healthy heart. The infusion and activation of perfect heart rhythm. The infusion and activation of the enjoyment of learning. The infusion and activation of the enjoyment of growth. The infusion and activation of maturing with grace and ease. The infusion and activation of the enjoyment of moving my body. The infusion and activation of serving others graciously. The infusion and activation of being free to love others as they are. The infusion and activation of giving others the things they need to help them grow. The infusion and activation of being loved. The infusion and activation of nurturing myself. The infusion and activation of gratitude. The infusion and activation of being virtuous. The infusion and activation of loving others as I love myself. The infusion and activation of having joy. the infusion and activation of giving thanks. The infusion and activation of allowing and welcoming abundance and wealth into my life. The infusion and activation of giving freely to others in need. The infusion and activation of feeling worthy to receive. The infusion and activation of giving full worth to whom I'm in service to. The infusion and activation of learning from both all life's experiences and from all my own experiences. The infusion and activation of allowing my learning and being open to learning. The infusion and activation of acceptance. The infusion and activation of assimilation. The infusion and activation of nourishment. The infusion and activation of joy. The infusion and activation of equality. The infusion and activation of a strong, healthy, small intestine. The infusion and activation of the efficient assimilation and digestion of nutrients. the infusion and activation of the efficient rejection and elimination of toxins. The infusion and activation of choosing foods and beverages that nourish, the infusion and activation of comprehension, the infusion and activation of thinking before I act, the infusion and activation of conceiving ideas clearly and accurately, the infusion and activation of common sense, the infusion and activation of remembering and remembrance, the infusion and activation of thinking clearly and accurately, the infusion and activation of expressing appropriate emotions, the infusion and activation of enjoying equality, the infusion and activation of feeling loved and accepted, the infusion and activation of loving and accepting others, the infusion and activation of nourishing myself with positive emotions, the infusion and activation of being joyful, the infusion and activation of patience, the infusion and activation of accepting freely the infusion and activation of nurturing others, the infusion and activation of treating all as equals, the infusion and activation of courteousness, the infusion and activation of self-respect and the respect of others. We give great thanks for the graceful infusion, activation, and integration of all these positive qualities into the Sovereign Fire Blueprint unit or species-related equivalent, and into all associated and related selves, physical and etheric. And we give great thanks to all of the teams who assisted in this process. And we command the daily reinforcement with love, grace, and ease of all positive qualities infused and activated into the Sovereign Fire Blueprint unit or species-related equivalent, and into all related cells, physical and etheric, for this healing transmission. Teams, please repeat this infusion and activation process once a day for the next 2 days to allow for full, graceful, and easy integration to take place. Thank you. And we now command our return to the earth plane, fully present, intact on all levels. We give great thanks for this gift of love. Okay, everyone. Very slowly open your eyes. Come gently back to the space we're in. Have a good stretch. I hope you all enjoyed that. Next week we will be working on the Earth unit. I thank you all for participating. I thank you all for watching the show, and I thank you all for all that you are. So we're going to wind things up now for this evening. Teams, please run grounding frequencies on all who participated in the meditation and healing transmission. It should help you all feel more grounded. Now do remember, please, if you've had any first-hand experiences of matrix anomalies and glitches, please email me. And I'll either read them out on the show, or if you'd like to join me on the show to tell the story or stories yourself, then email me. And I wish you all a wonderful good night. And please do join me again next week in No Space, No Time World for more meditation and another healing transmission. Mwah. Night.
Humanity has been on an epic journey of discovery, learning the truth about the world we live in. New discoveries about the true origins of humanity, ancient history, free energy, as well as the systematic corruption of world governments are now on the forefront of our daily reality. Is the world headed towards destruction based on control and power? Or is an opportunity now being presented to shift and uplift into a higher consciousness? My name is Mel V, co-founder and creative director of Conscious Consumer Network, an independent broadcast network that was launched on the 1st of January 2015. In the last 3 years, Conscious Consumer Network has broadcast over 2,800 shows in multiple languages, featuring guests from across the world, whilst creating media that is aimed at the creation of a free, fair, peaceful, just, sustainable world. Conscious Consumer Network provides full training and an interactive support network for all broadcasters, and we are always looking for inspiring and educational content.
Hi, this is Lady Liberty.
And this is Mira Siegel.
In 2018, Conscious Consumer Network has expanded to multiple broadcast locations, increasing our availability and reach across the world, remaining on the cutting edge of independent media. If we wish to create a better world, we must first create better media, geared towards real education instead of indoctrination.
Because really what changing the world is going to be about is educating kids at a grassroots level.
Having become a pillar of stability in the turbulent world of independent media, we have even more going on in 2018. Conscious Consumer Network is a publicly funded network, and we rely on all of you to keep us on the air. Show your support for independent media by donating to our 2018 Network Support Fund. Dare to seek a better world. Support independent media.